Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Artful Manifesting. In today's timeless pick a card reading, we will be receiving a message from your chakras. And to help us do that, we are going to be choosing one of these three cards that I pull out from this oracle deck. Oh, there we go. And that one. I do put the names of all the cards that I use in the description box below if that is something you're interested in. All right, we have Vision Quest. Buried in Earth. And Death. All right, let your intuition be your guide. Oh, also, if you'd like some additional assistance in making your choice, I do have these stones placed above each card. So for card number 1, I have this amethyst point. And for card number 2, I have this heart-shaped sandstone. And for card number 3, we have a piece of Amazonite. All right, whichever card or stone you are most drawn to is probably the reading for you, and you'll find a link to that reading in the description box below. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. You chose the card Vision Quest, as well as this beautiful amethyst point. Let's see what your chakras would like you to know. What would pile number 1 chakras like them to know? Oh. All right. 8 of Pentacles. We have the Paper Wasp. 5 of Cups. With the Death Mask Hawk Moth. Knight of Cups. And 7 of Pentacles. All right, let's draw a couple of oracle cards from 2 different decks and see what other information we can get from your chakras of what they would like you to know. This pile number 1 chakras want them to know. chakras want them to know. All right, we have the awakened dead. So already I'm seeing, with this card, something coming out of the crown. And the amethyst helps to facilitate the opening of the crown chakra. The mystic. If you hear noises in the background, those are my dogs. They like to contribute with ASMR during these videos. We have leaves. And time. Your chakras are sending you a message of a reminder to make sure to appreciate what you have done so far and take time to reflect on it and do some self-care and allow yourself some space and time to connect and center and ground yourself. So with the paper wasp, 8 of Pentacles, we have this insect that works meticulously to build this nest, this place to store resources, etc., to create something. And so what I see is that you create, but there's a message of possibly being a bit of a perfectionist. And so your chakras want you to remember that, it's okay to make mistakes and to learn from mistakes, and that things don't always have to be perfect. So that's, one message. And what I see too is that, with the amethyst, your third eye and your crown chakra is very active and open and opening and receiving. As I mentioned with this card, the things that almost broke me were the things that most awoke me. And then down here it says resilience, nirvana, self-appreciation. So there you go with that message of self-appreciation. And we have the 5 of Cups next up here. And we see there are 3 broken cups, which can be a symbol of disappointment, maybe things not going exactly as planned, or again, those things that you perceive as mistakes. But what we still see standing are 2 intact cups with light in them. And so you are being invited to focus on what is working and what you have accomplished, and appreciate the good qualities of yourself and your work. And underneath the 5 of Cups, we have, there is a reason you have those dreams. And it says down here, intuition, high priestess, and visionary. So again, we're getting this idea. We see another illustration of kind of the same concept. And it's really interesting because in this one, we see this information being received through the crown. And then in this one, you see this information being received through the eyes. And in your case, it's the third eye. And we also have the sun here. And so you're being invited to connect with nature. And I see at this time that you are receiving downloads and you're being asked to ground yourself during this time with all this information, inspiration, and understanding that you're receiving from the universe by one, going outside and physically grounding, observing nature, giving yourself the opportunity to listen to birds, to, if you can, to absorb some sun rays. A good way to do this is at sunset and sunrise. And also, if you miss sunset and sunrise and you go out when the sun's higher in the sky, you can, with your eyes closed, face the sun and receive downloads directly from the sun that way, through your face, through your third eye, through your body, but again, with your eyes closed, just absorbing the sun's energy. And then the other message is to maybe write down or draw all of this information that you're getting. When we get downloads, it's kind of like the movie The Matrix, where you just have this instant understanding. And in some cases, it's beyond words. It can sometimes be difficult to communicate it to another person what this understanding is. But just, if you can, do your best to write it down or to draw it, and that will help to ground that information. So with a very active third eye and crown chakra, right? Those are the upper chakras. We want to integrate that information, that knowledge, that wisdom into the physical reality. And so we can do that by doing physical tasks like writing or drawing. And then also taking time to just do physical connections, whether it's exercise or breath work, some kind of physicality that you can do to help ground everything that you're receiving at this time. Because what I see for you is this great expansion in the third eye and crown chakra area. And we also have here the vision quest, which is very much about doing both, one connecting with the other realm, but then bringing back the tools and the information that you get through that insight and then using it in a practical way, putting it in your toolbox, grounding it. We see here the figure physically sitting on the earth and connecting to the earth. So any way that you can do that, that is going to help you at this time. And then we have the Knight of Cups. And what you're being guided to, again, is to transform that energy. The Knights are very energetic cards. They're very energetic cycles and periods. And so with this information that you're receiving, and with this perfectionism, again, you're being reminded to ground yourself, find a place, a space where you can center yourself and bring balance to your inner being through breath, exercise, yoga, eating healthy, all those kinds of things, and perhaps keeping a journal so that you can keep all that information. And what I see here is with the Five of Cups and the Knight of Cups and these broken cups, perhaps there being a perception of mistakes or faltering or disappointment, is taking that energy and transforming it into positive energy. So rather than letting it discourage you to the point that you would give up on something, instead use it as fuel to move forward and transform that energy into a positive. And with the swan here, I'm reminded of the story of the ugly duckling. Only instead of it being an external appearance, I see it more like a feeling that doesn't feel good, you know, like disappointment or being discouraged or being self-critical. And so you're really being asked again to see the beauty in everything that you have accomplished. And so this is, you know, what you are becoming is this swan. You are transforming into you know, your best version of yourself. And underneath we have leaves, renewal, revival, and progress. So again, there's that message of the vision quest and connecting to yourself, touching base with yourself, and acknowledging that when these things happen, like the Five of Cups, whatever that energy is that what it's doing is it's bringing you into alignment with your real path. So just more going with the flow and trusting in the process, knowing that everything is going to work out, and that things happen for a reason. So what's interesting too about the leaves is leaves do what? They absorb sunlight. And so again, there's this strong message with this sun and the leaves to receive those downloads from the sun by connecting to the sun energy if you are able to do that. And you're going to find that simultaneously giving you downloads, opening and expanding the crown chakra and the third eye, but simultaneously grounding you, because it's part of nature, and anything we do with nature helps to ground us. And then we have here in the outcome position, the Seven of Pentacles. And so what I see that you're doing is you are leveling up, and just like a spider weaves this web and it feels vibrations, this level up that's occurring with you now is going to allow you to discern different vibrations in your environment and within yourself, so that you have more clarity moving forward. And that's a wonderful thing. And it's going to allow you to catch the resources that you need to move forward in your journey. And we also have, as an affirmation, it's just always so amazing how the cards come out: time, presence, and self-awareness. And that's exactly what this spider with all these little webs is saying, is that you're increasing your self-awareness and you're starting to understand what these different energies and vibrations that you're receiving are telling you. So rather than reacting to them, you'll understand them and respond to them with clarity, having a greater wisdom of what message it is that you are receiving from the universe. So that's wonderful. I'm so happy for you with this level up. It feels amazing. It's a huge expansion for you, a huge level up, and you're really coming into yourself. Just be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself, take time to connect to Mother Earth and ground yourself. And that is your message. I hope that helps. Message from your chakras today. Have a wonderful journey. Thank you. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose the heart-shaped sandstone as well as this card, Buried in Earth. So let's see what your chakras want to tell you today. What message does pile number 2's chakras have for them today? All right, we have 8 of Swords. It's really interesting because it looks like we are looking up through a hole all the way up to the sky, as if we're in the earth looking up, and the card that you chose was buried in earth, and we even see the same circle. So very interesting. We have the Devil, we have the 5 of Swords, and the 6 of Wands. All right, looking good so far. Let's get a couple of oracle cards from 2 different decks. What does pile number 2's chakras have to say to them today? And a couple from this deck. What does pile number 2's chakras want to tell them today? All right. We have emotions. And the Forbidden Forest. Moss Agate. Definitely I see a transformation. I never noticed this before on this card, and I've pulled it before. We have here a little chrysalis, and we have a caterpillar and a butterfly. So all the different stages. So I see you going through a change, through a transformation, a positive change. So that's good. And B. So with the 8 of Swords and buried in the earth, I sense that some of you may feel that you have dug yourself a hole, right? Dug yourself in a hole, or you may feel that you are overwhelmed and buried, trapped. And so your chakras, first of all, want you to know that you are not alone. Very much your ancestors are with you at this time. And you are processing a lot through your root chakra. You know, we have here the sandstone, which helps to heal the emotional body. And we have alchemy, processing, sensitivity. It says honoring the flow of all the emotions. And so this is a time that you have an opportunity to recognize what your emotions are telling you, to process them, and to heal any kind of wounds, whether they're from childhood or inherited from our ancestors, which is why your ancestors are so present at this moment, is because they are helping you to alchemize and transmute this energy, which is going to have a positive impact on your whole lineage, which is really amazing. I do want to read to you out of the book what this particular deck's Five of Swords says. Since I noticed the 3 different phases on this moss agate, and that's the first time I noticed the 3 different phases of the butterfly. The Five of Swords says that it indicates you are in one of 3 positions, which is why I wanted to read it to you, because we see here the 3 different positions, right? The first is that of a brute, the person who sees something they want and simply takes it without considering the impact of their actions. You may have made gains through less than honorable tactics, but be warned, any victory will be hollow and your reputation damaged. The second position is that of the enabler, or someone complicit. Perhaps you benefited in some way by the dishonorable actions of another. You may not have done the dirty work, but you did reap some reward as a result. Although you were not directly involved, your inaction will leave you weakened, as others will recognize your lack of integrity. The final position is that of the victim, or the sufferer, as a result of the actions of the selfish. Your well-being opinions or requirements were never even on the table. They were never even considered, and yet you are the one who is negatively affected. So this is coming up in the guidance position of the spread. What your chakras want you to know is that you are now in the process of transmuting these energies and recognizing your role and the roles that others play. You know, which one of these roles are you at in any given time in a situation, and what roles are others playing? And the way for you to recognize this, one resource that you have is within the Devil card. This is coming up in the resource position, which is interesting. Many times we think of the Devil card as a negative card, but what it's saying in this position is that notice when you're getting activated by what you're doing. So many times we self-soothe without recognizing that's what we're doing. It can be as simple as scrolling through social media or binge watching TV. It's not necessarily something obvious like an addiction, although it can be. But your chakras want you to notice when you are engaging in these types of activities that are either self-soothing or maybe perhaps even kind of escaping you from experiencing the emotions that maybe aren't comfortable. And by acknowledging that's what you're doing, by recognizing that's what you're doing, you will then be able to process what's causing it, what role you're playing in this cycle, what role others are playing in this cycle, and how that's activating you. And through that, you'll discover things and be able to alchemize your own wounds and wounds that you've inherited from your ancestors. With the Forbidden Forest, it says, you are so brave to keep on going the way you do. Bravery, persistence, and redemption. And so this card is all about reclaiming your power and reclaiming your soul. And we see here a portal opening. So what I see is that you will, through this process, be leveling up, going through this portal into a new realm, into a higher realm. You will be vibrating at a higher frequency and start to attract people and situations that match that frequency, which is amazing. There's also a message that you are very protected with the ancestors. This stone is also about protection. Of course, it's connected to the root chakra and it's grounding, and you're being invited to also ground at this time with these cards that we have here. And so if you can recognize these signs and face them with bravery and have the ability to alchemize and change these things in a positive way, then you will come out victorious. And I do see that for you because we have here the Six of Wands. And for some of you, this may be a leadership role. And of course, this is a general reading. So, take everything that I say into consideration, that not everything is a direct message for you. If it is, great. But it may not be as daunting as it sounds, healing inherited trauma, for example. It could be that maybe, you're in a situation, a relationship, a work environment, some kind of energy, place, circumstance that is uncomfortable, and you've been wanting to make a change and you've resisted that change. And your chakras are saying that once you are brave and you make this change, you will feel victorious and you will feel recognized and valued and worthy. And I see along with that, if it is, for example, a new job, maybe you've just been reluctant to give up the job that you have because it's provided you security. But I see that if you move into this new space, this new energy, whether it's a job or not, what you're going to find is a sweeter community. So again, your vibration is rising as a result of this process, this alchemization, this transmutation of energy. And you are going to meet others and become part of a community that matches your new vibration, which is wonderful. Or it could also be that the community that you're in, you will begin to recognize their higher vibration, and in return they will recognize your higher vibration. It'll kind of bounce back and forth. And it could be both. It could be that the current communities and relationships that you have level up and become sweeter, and you also find a new community that matches your vibration. So it could be one or the other or both, which is amazing. It's a beautiful result. So that is your message from your chakras. It sounds wonderful. I know that, experiencing these emotions can be uncomfortable, but I do see you being brave and leaping into a new realm with this higher vibration, which is just going to be amazing for you. So in the end, you will see that it is all worth it, and you will be stronger and happier for it. So that is your message from your chakras. Best to you on this beautiful journey. Thank you. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the card Death as well as the stone Amazonite. Let's see what message your chakras have for you today. What message does pile number 3's chakras have for them today? All right, we have 7 of Wands, Ace of Wands, Seven of Swords, and 6 of Wands. Okay, I shuffle the cards in between and on camera, but this came up in pile number 2. So if you were drawn to that reading, you might check that out. It came up in the same position. So we'll see if the message is similar. All right, I'm going to draw a couple of cards from each of these oracle decks. What message does pile number 3's chakras have for them today? All right, we have the Mirror, Yin and Yang, Summer, and Watering Can. Okay, it's so interesting how the cards present the message. Right now, your chakras are encouraging you to expand and grow. So perhaps there is a leadership role in some way, shape, or form that is coming into your space or being offered to you, whether that's a job, a position, or in the community, in a situation. And perhaps you feel like you aren't the one. You are kind of on the fence as to if you feel like you can do this or not. And that's what we have here with the 7 of Wands, the alligator. And the alligator comes to provide you with that courage and confidence to step into this role. And with Death, we see you leaving something behind and entering a new phase, going through this portal that's going to transcend you and elevate you to a higher level. With this card, the Mirror, self-reflection, writer, big picture. It says in this book, I don't know if you can see it, did you forget all you had to go through to be you? And this book's titled All the Good Things. I can't read the other two, but basically what it's saying is, you know, zoom out and look at the big picture of your whole life. So imagine if you could, zoom to the future, to where you've already passed through that portal of death and you're doing your life review, how proud you would be of yourself and everything that you accomplished, every obstacle that you overcame. And so you're being encouraged to see the whole big picture and not to focus on any missteps or perceived mistakes, any setbacks, because all that is part of the journey. It's just like if you, if you were traveling by foot across the country like the early humans did, you wouldn't judge every stone, river, mountain, and hill that you climbed as a negative part of your journey. It would just be part of your journey, and it would be a part of an opportunity to grow and get stronger and gain knowledge and wisdom. And so you've overcome a lot, and your chakras are reminding you of that and asking you to appreciate that about yourself. There's also a message of bringing balance into your life. And this balance is very much the yin and yang energy. So you could say masculine and feminine. You could also say logical and emotional, like we have illustrated in the Seven of Wands. So perhaps you are more logical and less intuitive, or perhaps you're more intuitive and less logical. Whichever applies to you, you are being asked to lean into the other side and expand it and grow it. And with both of those energies, you will be able to create something new. You will be able to create this web that will attract all the resources that you need. And I see as this Ace of Wands, something being offered to you. Again, I see you being offered this new role. And in some way, shape, or form, it being a role of leadership. We also have the Panther here, which is at the top of the food chain. And we have the Six of Wands, where we see somebody up here, winner, victory, the lemur. And so again, I see this message of you coming into a leadership role of some kind. And the message that you're getting from your chakras is that this won't be something you have to do alone. You will be supported by others. And there is a type of reciprocation that happens. We see here with this bee, right? The bee receives something from the flowers, and the flowers benefit from the bee. So there's this beautiful cycle, this beautiful reciprocation of energy. And I just realized, even with the mirror, right, it's reflecting back. So this idea of the energy and currency, resources, all of that creating a flow. And it even says on this card, I am in divine flow and move in alignment. So that's what you're coming into. You are coming into a space where you have this balance, and with that balance, you have this continuous flow of what you need at all times, which is a wonderful thing. So as the leader, because I do see many of you stepping into this role, you're being guided to share the burdens. It says it right here on this card, share the burdens, which means that you will have a team to support you. You won't have to do it alone. And not only do you have a team in the physical realm, but you have your spiritual team that is supporting you, that is also part of this energy flow that's going to help grow and expand you. So it's very beautiful message. I see this also being a very spiritual leveling up, even though we have wands the Ace of Wands and the Six of Wands, which could mean career. We have 2 sevens here, and with the Death, the yin and yang, I see this being a spiritual experience. This being able to balance your energies is going to also be a spiritual level up, not only a material or resource or career type of level up, which is beautiful. The Amazonite is a stone of good luck, and it also is a stone that helps you to see both sides of something. So again, we have that message of balancing, and it also helps to facilitate balance of feminine and masculine energy. So if you feel that you are more logical and less intuitive, or more intuitive and less logical, then perhaps Amazonite can help you to balance that. But I see that that is something you are going to achieve. We even see that this spider looks like it's balancing on the tip of this wand. And so even doing things physically, like the tree yoga pose, or things that help to facilitate you in the physical realm, will help to balance your masculine and feminine, or yin and yang, intuitive and logical energies. So that's wonderful. I see you stepping through to this next level up, being more balanced, more productive, and being in some kind of leadership role. So congratulations. How wonderful for you. That is your message from your chakras. Best of luck in this new chapter of your life. Thank you. Bye.